People are worried about Gypsy's appearance after her glam shoot for her maternity photo. They're stating that she appears very skinny, and they're a little worried about, mainly in regards to her baby, they're worried. Now, initially, when Gypsy had gotten out of prison, it made sense that she had tacked on some weight. I did read that eating a lot of ramen noodles.
Gypsy-Rose's pregnancy has become a highly controversial topic, with confusion and debate spreading across the internet. Her claims of being 8 months pregnant with a due date in January have raised numerous questions, and every public appearance she makes only adds fuel to the fire. While she's announced plans to name her daughter Aurora, this announcement hasn't done much to quell the growing skepticism. People are questioning whether her pregnancy is legitimate, as her belly seems to vanish and reappear at will. Each time she steps out, her bump looks drastically different, leading to speculations that the pregnancy may not be what it seems. For months, Gypsy's baby bump has been the subject of intense scrutiny. One day, it's prominently visible, drawing attention like a headline story, but the next day, it's mysteriously absent, leaving her followers perplexed. Social media is flooded with theories, some of which suggest that she may be using a prosthetic belly, possibly a pillow or other prop. These theories have only gained momentum as Gypsy's pregnancy journey has been filled with unexplained inconsistencies.
Another reason why I don't believe gypsy-rose Blanchard is still pregnant is because she's recently lost a massive amount of weight. What normally happens when you have a baby and you start breastfeeding? Listen, I know y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but I would rather be in a straitjacket.
Since she first announced her pregnancy in July, she hasn't taken any substantial steps to clear the air, allowing doubt to fester and giving her critics more room to speculate. While it's true that every pregnancy is unique, with some women showing their bumps later than others, there is usually a consistent progression in how a pregnancy is carried. Gypsy's pregnancy, however, doesn't follow this pattern. Her belly seems to grow and shrink with no clear consistency. One moment it's exaggeratedly round, almost as if it's being propped up, and the next moment it's flat, giving the appearance of a non-pregnant figure. This back and forth between appearances has raised suspicions that her pregnancy may be staged or faked. Even more suspicious is how she seems to deliberately push her belly out for photos or public appearances, which only adds to the feeling that she's trying too hard to convince people of her pregnancy. A particularly strange moment occurred when Gypsy appeared at a court hearing for her divorce from Ryan. She wore a blue mandarin collar blouse tucked into oversized trousers with a skinny belt. However, the belt wasn't properly fastened through the loops of the pants. Instead, it was tied under her supposed baby bump, drawing immediate attention. For someone claiming to be 8 months pregnant, her belly looked strangely flat, which immediately raised doubts. But things got even weirder when Gypsy left the courtroom. It appeared as though her belly had completely vanished.
I'm sorry. You can't sell me on this. You are not going to be able to sell me in on this story. Just put me in a straitjacket. I'd rather be labeled as insane than believe this story. My heart just won't let me believe this. It won't.
The belt, which had been positioned under her bump, was now fastened higher up on her waist, as if she were trying to cover up the absence of the bump. The sudden disappearance of her belly raised even more questions. Was the belt there to keep a prosthetic belly in place? Could this whole situation be part of an elaborate act? The speculations surrounding Gypsy's pregnancy have only grown from there. Some have suggested that she may have removed a fake belly for comfort during the long court proceedings, while others think this could all be part of a more calculated attempt to fabricate her pregnancy. The odd nature of this courtroom appearance and the way her belly seemed to vanish only deepens the mystery, leaving many to wonder if there's a deeper, hidden truth behind this whole saga. With every appearance, Gypsy seems to be drawing more attention and criticism, and the questions surrounding her pregnancy only intensify. Whether intentional or not, this case has kept the public on edge, and with every new development, the mystery grows more complicated.
Brain tells me you can't believe this at all. My instincts tell me that. But my gut tells me they had a baby shower. Why are you being a fool? But my brain is like, just have him put you in a straitjacket so you can say you was right.
As Gypsy's due date draws closer, it seems like the answers may be coming soon, or the speculation may continue to escalate. The internet is watching closely, and the truth, whatever it may be, is still unfolding. the World Health Organization Tom Rosa managing editor. In a recent interview on WWL News, Gypsy wore a snug top that accentuated her figure, but her sitting posture didn't seem to match the image of an 8-month pregnant woman.
Eating a lot of certain carbs on there, it's just not the same. So, of course, you're going to gain a lot of carbs while you're in prison. And I guess that's why a lot of prisoners work out. However, after 6 months, you do tend to drop the weight, according to sources, so that you're not eating as many of those carbs that they feed you. And Gypsy had lost a lot of that weight. However, a lot of people are coming out and saying
this sparked a lot of reactions, with many viewers suggesting that it appeared as though she had stuffed a pillow under her shirt. While no one is jumping to conclusions, it's hard to ignore the inconsistencies when it comes to her pregnancy, especially when it doesn't look natural. This isn't the first time people have raised doubts. At her baby shower, there were glaring inconsistencies with her baby bump, sometimes visible, sometimes barely noticeable. For example, in one photo with Bree, her bump looked more defined, but in another one with Chair Frosty, it appeared to have vanished. If it were just a matter of clothing, the differences wouldn't be this dramatic, and this has continued to fuel the speculation. Things got even stranger during Thanksgiving when Gypsy and her boyfriend Ken spent time in Florida with his family. Photos from that day caught her striking a pose with one leg out, seemingly trying to make her belly look bigger.
that they are concerned, especially her fans. Now, some women during their pregnancy experience HG. However, according to sources, Gypsy hasn't experienced any of these symptoms. Some of the weight loss could be to stress-related symptoms. However, people think it's strange that her appearance has gone to a complete 180, especially after almost being ready to pop in January.
She wore a tighter sweater, but even then, her bump didn't look convincing. In fact, it appeared like she was deliberately pushing it out to make it more noticeable. A real pregnant belly doesn't need such strategic positioning to be visible, yet Gypsy has mastered the art of illusion. Another suspicious moment occurred when a fan snapped a candid photo of her in public. In this unposed moment, she looked exhausted, and her baby bump was nowhere to be seen. There was no opportunity to adjust her belly like in photos, so it was odd that her bump was completely absent. At first, the changes in her belly's appearance seemed like mere oddities. One day, her bump would appear large and rounded, drawing attention, while the next it would be flat, completely absent from sight.
None of anything else mattered. The drama on social media, the feud between creator and me and all of that drama just all faded. It didn't.
This constant shifting has led to widespread speculation that Gypsy may be using some sort of prop or prosthetic belly, possibly a pillow or another type of padding to simulate a pregnancy. The most concerning part is how she hasn't addressed the growing doubts, which has allowed them to fester and gain momentum across social media. While some would argue that every pregnancy is different, there's a general progression that most women experience. In Gypsy's case, her belly seems to fluctuate unpredictably. In some photos, it looks almost too perfectly round, while in others, it disappears altogether. This back and forth, with no clear consistency, has raised more questions than answers, leading to theories that her pregnancy might not be real. What stands out is her tendency to push her belly out in specific photos, almost as though she's trying too hard to create the illusion of pregnancy. This deliberate positioning has only fueled the suspicion that something isn't quite right. A particularly bizarre incident occurred when Gypsy appeared at a court hearing for her divorce. She wore a blue blouse tucked into oversized pants with a belt that was tied under her supposed baby bump.
Matter anymore. All that matters is making sure that I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, my relationship with Ken is healthy, and we are moving forward in a positive way. It's an amazing feeling.
However, for someone claiming to be 8 months pregnant, her belly appeared strangely flat. Even more puzzling was when Gypsy left the courtroom, her belly had seemingly vanished, and the belt that had been under her bump was now higher up on her waist. It's as if she was attempting to cover up the absence of the bump. Was the belt meant to hold a prosthetic belly in place? Could this whole pregnancy be a carefully constructed act? The speculation about Gypsy's pregnancy doesn't stop there. Some believe she may have removed a fake belly for comfort during the long court proceedings, while others feel that this whole situation is part of a calculated effort to deceive the public. Her Her sudden changes in appearance, like her belly magically disappearing at key moments, only deepens the mystery. Could this all be an elaborate scheme to fabricate a pregnancy for personal gain or publicity? With every new photo, Gypsy only seems to invite more questions, and the public continues to dissect every image and every post for clues.
Feeling when your whole world shifts, and suddenly it's not about you. It's not about anything.
A particularly telling moment came during a recent interview, where Gypsy wore a tight-fitting top that highlighted her figure. However, her posture seemed off for someone claiming to be 8 months pregnant. Many viewers pointed out that it looked like she had stuffed a pillow under her shirt, creating an illusion of a baby bump. This raised further doubts, especially given that her baby bump had been inconsistent throughout her pregnancy. One day it looked more defined, and the next it appeared to be almost invisible. If it were just a matter of clothing choices, the differences wouldn't be so striking.
Other than the tiny little life that's inside you that you are now in charge of protecting, and that
Things only got stranger during Thanksgiving when Gypsy spent time with her boyfriend Ken's family in Florida. A photo from that day caught her in a pose that seemed designed to make her bump look bigger, with her sweater tightly hugging her body. Despite the effort, her belly still didn't look convincing. It appeared as though she was deliberately pushing it out to make it more noticeable. Yet real pregnancies don't need such careful positioning to be seen. This led some to believe that Gypsy was using a trick to make her pregnancy appear more advanced than it really was. Then, during a candid public moment, a fan snapped a photo of Gypsy looking tired and with no visible baby bump. This unposed shot was jarring, especially since she had been so strategic in other photos. How could her belly be absent in such an unguarded moment if she was truly 8 months pregnant? Her social media updates have only added to the confusion. Gypsy posted an Instagram story in September claiming to be 23 weeks along, but the photo seemed staged and the caption defensive.
a little tiny life is a baby, a little tiny human that's yours, and that you have to make sure that you protect, you love, you take care of, and all of the things that I wished I could have had.
She even referenced the haters who would doubt the authenticity of her pregnancy, almost as if she anticipated the backlash. And when she celebrated Kane's birthday, her bump looked more pronounced, yet now, just weeks from her supposed due date, it seems to have shrunk. This drastic change in size, coupled with the lack of consistent progress, has raised even more questions about the reality of her pregnancy. Further discrepancies can be found in her social media updates. For example, when she claimed to be 24 weeks pregnant during Kane's birthday celebration, her bump appeared more pronounced then than it does now, just weeks away from her supposed due date. This raised even more questions. How could the pregnancy be shrinking rather than growing? Her lack of progress in the pregnancy journey only seems to strengthen the suspicions. In a now infamous Instagram story she posted in September, she showed off her bump and wrote, "The haters will say this is AI." She claimed to be 23 weeks along, but once again, the photo seemed staged and the caption defensive, almost as if she anticipated that people wouldn't believe her. As her due date approaches, the pressure is only intensifying. Fans and critics alike are demanding clear answers, not cryptic posts or staged photos. People are asking why Gypsy hasn't addressed the inconsistencies surrounding her pregnancy. Why hasn't she provided tangible proof, like an ultrasound or medical update? If she was willing to take a paternity test to address rumors about her child's father, why not offer the same transparency here? Her silence and reluctance to share more details now seem less like a desire for privacy and more like an effort to avoid the intense scrutiny that would follow any further questions. Her decision to keep everything private is raising more questions than answers, and it's only adding fuel to the fire of doubt surrounding her pregnancy. With January just around the corner, Gypsy has a lot to prove. If she's truly pregnant, it's a chance to silence the skeptics once and for all. However, if she's not, this entire situation could explode in her face. There are already speculations that she may use her newfound privacy as an excuse to retreat from the public eye, avoiding tough questions and scrutiny altogether. So, what do you think? Is Gypsy's pregnancy real, or is it all an elaborate hoax? Will she finally address the rumors or disappear into hiding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this ongoing saga. Stay tuned and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.